everyone, it's Erica back on the Old to New YouTube channel, and today I'm going to use one of my favorite stamp sets. This is the Billowing Peonies, and I don't think I need to say much else than look at this. Wow. However, I do love these colors, and I'm very, very, very partial to pinks. Now, I have made many cards with this color combination. So the pink diamond and the tropical forest. And I want to say cherry blossoms, pinks, families. So instead of going for pink and greens today, or like sort of greenies, spring greens, I thought I would challenge myself and step a little bit outside of my color comfort zone. So we are going to use these today. So we've got kind of a very matcha green color family and very orange. Now, I'm a little bit nervous. I am not gonna lie, but there's no time like the present, and we're going to do this. Yes. So I'm going to be using the coordinating layering stencils. I'm also going to be using the Stamp Wheel 2.0 to actually fit this whole stamp set in. And we are going to get this whole thing rolling. Yeah, we are. Okay. Now, I figured what we'll do is actually stamp it up twice, and maybe I will do one in pinks as well, just because I can. I don't know, but I will definitely do the orange and on screen, and then I will probably do the pink one off screen and just kind of show you the difference. Now we're gonna take this ginormous and gorgeous stamp set, and we are not going to rip it like I just did. Whew, that's not good. Okay. Okay. All right, good thing it'll just stick together when you stamp it. Okay, so we're going to stamp it smack dab in the middle. There we go. Okay, and now the question is, are we going to go silver stone or permanent black? I mean, it does look really nice when you have a solid black outline around, so I think I just answered my own question there, and we're going to go black. Now, I will have to stamp this a couple of times because I actually need to re-ink my ink pad. So that's something to bear in mind if you want really, really solid lines and you want to have to skip a stamping step. Just keep your ink pad really nice and re-ink. Okay, we're gonna go one more time. So with our stencils in place, we are going to use a little bit of our masking tape just to hold them in place, because I have used a far too big piece of paper, and even the Stamp Wheel 2.0 gripping mat is not quite big enough to hold these in place. Now, what you could do if you have got a smaller one and you really, really don't want to be using any masking tape is you could actually die cut the image out first and then ink blend over, because with the excess paper cut off, you would be able to hold your stencils in place and you wouldn't need to use any masking tape. Because I realized it is a little bit tricky and a little bit scary to use masking tape on your ink blending, because sometimes even when it's low tack, it does rip anyway. So it is a little bit of a risk to take, not gonna lie. But I tried here to sort of put my masking tape outside of the image itself, and then kind of use a little bit, a very, very light touch. So I haven't pressed down the piece that is kind of masking one flower from the other one. So that helped my peace of mind, knowing it's not going to rip through the stencil. And although here you will see that there is some tape on the actual leaves there, But because this image is so big, it is not all going to fit onto an A2 card. So if some of the like outlining bits for whatever reason get damaged, you could always trim those off and nobody will be none the wiser. Or anybody will be none the wiser. Nobody will know. Nobody will know. So rest assured that things will be okay, no matter how you kind of approach this. But we are now going to be adding the last kind of final bits on the flower. And I will say in the beginning, I was questioning my choices. I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. But then as you were working through the layers, the flower is coming to life and you're like, yeah, no, I see it now. But on this last layer here, I went quite gentle with the first color layer there. And when I took off the stencil and I looked at it and I thought, hey, surprise, surprise, I actually think we can add more. So I did, and oh, I'm so glad I did. Sometimes you just have to kind of go for it. I mean, when I say sat down, but I was actually doing the standing up because I have a standing desk. Little side note there. When I started this project, I was like, okay, I will film this just in case it does work out. And I am so glad I did, even though it's like, so this is all sped up pretty much. And it is about from start to finish, a 25-minute ink blending session. Because I wasn't just kind of like doing it. There was a lot more to it. And if I had just kind of gone with the technique of like cutting out the image first, but look at that, and not have to use the masking tape, this would probably be a lot faster. But this was a great experiment, and I am so glad I tried this in orange, because look at that. Didn't that just turn out so great? So great. And I think that color choice of green, the J Dreams, just worked so well with the warm and cozy oranges. I mean, I am thinking this is like a top level color combination now. I'm in love. So good, isn't it? Okay, so for color reference, this is one made with the pink diamond, or this color family. And I think this is going to be just as lovely. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to take our stamp wheel and we're going to pop this back in there. And we are going to stamp up a sentiment here as well. And then we're going to cut all of this out. Now the question is, which sentiment? You beautiful just the way you are, maybe. We'll stamp that up anyway. Which peace and contentment. Might as well stamp up a couple. It's good to have options. Yeah, we'll stick with those two, I think. We're going to keep, we'll stick with the same permanent black ink. But we're going to need to stamp one more time, and I am going to need to get a re-inker for sure. Our coordinating die cuts. Now I think I'm going to splatter this with a bit of watercolor, like on this one here, because it just looks really, really nice. So I'm gonna do that, but we're going to use the splatter box for sure. So now the question is, do we go for gold? Do we maybe try this one? Or that one maybe, actually. That is, let's see. Could be copper or citrine. Citrine. So I think we're going to try that one. This one here, because it looks really lovely. So we're going to get it a little bit wet. And then we're going to get a new paintbrush and we are going to splatter. Right, paintbrush ready. I've got a tool. We're just going to simply tap here. And angle slightly differently so we get nice even splatters everywhere. Okay, let's have a little look. Ooh, very nice. Just the right amount of splatter, I think. Yeah, we're going to leave it like that. And we're going to leave this to dry for a little bit. And then we're going to crack on. Okay, so we are going to take this and we're going to use this marking here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our flower. We're going to, like this. And well, first we're going to just see on the other side. There we go. So we want probably most of this flower to show. Or do we? No. Right, so we're going to put that down there. And then we're going to use a ruler and a pencil, and we're just gonna draw a line right there, and then we're going to cut this because this is not going to show anyway. And then we can use these greens to place on our, you know what, we're going to use a trimmer just to make sure. Okay, there we go. And at this point, things really took a turn for the worst. I thought I had a good idea in my head where I was like, okay, I'm going to use that outline on the work mat and I'm going to draw lines on the back of the image, and then I'm going to simply trim these down, and then that's going to fit perfectly on the card. And yes, the idea was sound. However, my execution clearly was faulty because all of a sudden my floral image was smaller than the card panel, and instead of stopping there and trying to figure out what went wrong, I just plowed on. Now, I would recommend that if you find yourself in this kind of pickle, to just stop. Don't do what I did, as usual. Don't do what I do, just do what I say. And you might actually be able to save your project. So at this point, I have trimmed off so much of my flower that it is no longer going to actually cover the entire card base like my first card did. So we are having to switch technique? No, not technique. We have switched our approach. So now I trimmed off even more. I know, just there was no stopping me with that guillotine, I tell you. So at this point we have an image that is probably about a 1/8 of an inch smaller around the outline of the card base. And I decided to just, you know what, at this point I'm not chopping anymore because I won't have anything left if I keep on chopping and trying to make this straight. So I turned it over. I am adding the 1 inch wide instant dimension foam tape on the back of this, and I'm using my cute little Ultimate scissors, which are not getting sticky, so they must be Teflon, I think. So here now we're going to be putting this flower onto our card base, and then we're just gonna make it work. So we have yet another video of do as I say and don't do as I do video. So memo to self, you know, follow along and then avoid doing the things that I do wrong and save yourself a little bit of hassle in the craft room. Now, for my sentiment, I did end up using a little bit of the leftover instant dimension foam tape, and we're just going to prop that up as well because, you know, if we don't have texture and dimension on our card, are we even card making? I mean, I am not a clean and simple kind of card maker, so I do love my layers, my dimensions, all of the different, you know, bits and pieces, and of course, we are going to add a little bit of bling to this card as well, don't you worry. But for now, we have somewhat rescued this. And then we're going to add some black Onyx gem sparkles here as well. And today, I think we are going to go fairly generous. Yes. Shocker, I know. So I'm going to be putting these into clusters of 3 mostly, and we're going to use all 3 different sizes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add them onto the different heights as well. So we're going to have extra like dimension here. So don't be afraid to like mix and match where you put your gems as well, because they really do just bring so much like amazingness to your project. So go for it. Don't hoard those gems. Huh, okay. Well, I think that worked out all right in the end after all. So yeah, okay, cool. So now we know how to pivot when things go sideways. So I hope you learned something from this video, whether it's to be brave, try a new color combination, or just kind of plow on even when you can't kind of see what the end result is going to be like, or simply when something goes wrong with a cut. Don't give up and just keep on trying. But that is it from me for today. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you soon again. Bye!
Hey there, Lydia here. I really do hope that you've just enjoyed the video. If so, please subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, turn on the notification bell so you can get your daily dose of crafty techniques and tutorials just like this. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.